Test. Here with RPI after the Engineers fall to top-ranked Johns Hopkins in the NCAA Division III Regional Baltimore Final. Here with head coach Jason Falcon. Coach, if you could just open with a comment about the game, and then we'll just have a few questions for you.
Sure. I think we had that fire that we've talked about in the past coming out into the game. Obviously they're a very good team. They're number one for a reason. I felt like our guys had that passion, though, that they wanted to be there. I think they deserved to be there, and obviously it got away from us there in the middle of the game, and it was unfortunate we weren't able to battle back. But hats off to Johns Hopkins. They constantly put pressure on you, and they force you to play your best game.
Well, much like they did all season long, your senior class came up with some big hits today and big hits all weekend long. What will you remember most about the RPI class of 2025 as they leave your program?
It'll be more so the stuff that we do off the field, who they are as men, what they mean to each other, what they've done for the younger classes, and what they've done for us, myself included. I'll remember that more than I ever will any of their statistical things. I think it's more important about how they represent themselves, their family, and our institution. So I'm very, very proud of how they've done that this entire time.
How proud are you of the growth in your program, with this now being the end of your third year as the head coach?
They bought in right away, and I had a lot to work with. The guys, they saw that there was direction and there was some intensity to how I bring things, and they responded right away because more than anything, they just wanted to win and they wanted to compete. And I couldn't be any happier about how they bought into our system. We've had some coaching changes in the last year, but the guys we brought in made a difference because we all believe in learning from each other, learning from the game, and as I said to Coach Babb on the way out, he's done so much for this game. I know I've stolen probably so many things from him and his staff over the years and how they do things. So, overall, it was a wonderful experience, and we look forward to bigger and better things moving on.
And Coach, you talked about it yesterday. The third time your team goes through the lineup, they seem to just understand the pitching staff. Just talk about how they study the pitcher and then they're able to figure it out.
Well, they're great at communicating with one another, and as I said earlier, I've got a staff that's really great, really solid, and sort of picking apart what pitchers are doing to us. Reading things. I'm in a lucky situation where I've got not only just a great staff, but the players understand how to read the game, pitch by pitch, batter by batter, inning by inning, and so again, we ask them to stay locked in. And they do so each and every time. And we've got pitchers that are also able to, help with our hitters and sort of approach and, what things are going on out there. So I think collectively it was a great team effort.
We already talked about your seniors as a class, but Ayush Krishnappa in particular really saved his best for last in the senior season. He leaves on a 31-game hitting streak. I was saying during the broadcast, it could have gone on forever if the season was doubled in length. How much has he meant to your program, and what can your younger players learn from a guy like him?
He's meant a great deal, but like I said, I think he means more to us as a person and as a leader on the team than any of his statistics. You'd never know that he had a 31 or 32 game hitting streak because it's not what his focus is. His focus is about getting us in a situation where we can win games, and that's you can't ask for anything more. I think he's had a great influence on some of the younger guys and understanding what those numbers really mean. At the end of the day, you can have all the numbers you want, but if your team doesn't win, not going to matter. So I think you'd never know by his general demeanor and how he carries himself, that statistic means anything to him. And so I think for us, losing that type of mental approach and that type of person is going to have a great impact on us. But I think he's done a great job of mentoring a lot of the younger guys, and I think they look up to him, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they can repeat that.
Okay, great. Coach, thank you very much for joining us. Congratulations on a great season.
Thank you very much.